Welcome back. If you're still following along, you know that we just made our character. His name is Frithanatus. Frithanantis. I guarantee you, when somebody goes in there, they are going. When this character gets into game, somebody's going to give him a nickname. Um, but we just went through the character creation process. We created a character, number one. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you. If you want to get out of this play menu, you hit X, and then you can wander around the welcome area. If you're familiar with MUDs, basically these menus you go into are like little shell operations. If you're not familiar with MUDs or what a shell is, basically we're in the Ortchill client right now, and we're playing inside of the welcome area, which is a precursor to getting in the game. Shells or menus are like subcomponents of that. So once you go into a menu, you can only use options that are in that menu. 99% of the time, I think 100% in tech, actually, X will get you out to the previous level. So if you keep hitting X, you'll eventually get out of the menu, and it'll tell you like you're exiting the menu. So a menu would be at play. After you make your character, you have to agree that you are going to role play your character in this game. This is role playing enforced, which means you have to be your character in the game. In the welcome area, you are you. Okay? So that'll take you to this menu. I hit X. I go out of exiting character manager. So that's a character manager menu or shell. As I told you before in the last episode, I know that the character is one, so I don't have to type at play and then one. I can just type at play space one, and it'll take me right into the game. So now we're in the tutorial menu of the game. So this is there's a note here about the out of character menu. Basically, or out of character channel. I'm sorry, not menu. They made an out of character channels, which you've just seen people talking. Explosion, Niley, Derek, and Isoaeus. They were talking in out of character. You can tell because it says that at the top. But this is where you can speak as as you, not your character. But everything else in the game, the think menu, the auxiliary menu, the newbie chat, all that, not menu, but all those chats in the actual game world for say and stuff like that, you have to be your character. So it's just a fair warning, is role-playing enforced. So we are going to go through the tutorial now and see what comes up, okay? So if I remember right, the tutorial puts you on a ship, and then you have to kind of like get off of the ship, and it'll drop you in the game world. So right now, so what happens is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be in a room and you type look. And then it's going to walk you through here. So it's telling you, you have this person named Matos, and he is going to kind of walk you through a little bit of the beginning. So he's telling you to type look him. So you can either type look Matos, or a lot of people shorten things in the game. So especially my other character, Jaegerus, people will shorten it to like JA. So like look JA. What that'll do is it'll look at the first thing in the room that meets the JA criteria. If there's a jar of ink in the room, people will look and talk to jars all the time when my character's around. So if you decide to shorten things, like I'm going to look with his full name, and then I'm going to look with a shortened version of it, and it should do the same thing. Yes. So you see here, I'm looking at this man in his early 20s. So shorten it as much as you want, but make sure you have enough letters to specify the thing. If you're not sure what's all in a room that meets that criteria, you can type match and whatever you want, and it'll show you the object there. This is very, very useful if you want to know what objects are in the room. You can type match period, because period covers anything. So you hit that, and it'll show you every thing that is in the room. When we get to combat, I'll show you the AC menu, totally different. Well, it's a little bit different, but it's still same principle. But anyway, just a helpful hint for new people playing this game, or even people that have played for a while and didn't know it. So what did he want us to do? He wanted us to say hi to him, correct? Okay. So the say command is basically where you speak into the room. So you can say hi, which we will do, and it'll show that your character said hi. If you want to speak directly to someone, you say to, whoops, too many spaces. Say to mate, and then your message, okay? But the game wanted us to just say hi, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to just say hi. Oh. And now it's telling me to do exactly what I was telling you. So we're going to tell him, I'm great. And what they're saying here, too, is there's another way you can actually shorten this. So instead of typing say to, which is what I do because I've just always done that, you can use the double quotation marks and then the name of the person, and that will be basically the double quotation marks means say to, and then it'll be to him, I'm great. If you use the single quotation mark and type your message, it'll just say it into the room, not directed at anybody. So there's some shortcuts if you want to use them. I still type the word though. You can also, it's saying here, you can whisper up to yell. So if you whisper, you do whisper the name and then the message. And that will whisper to them. You don't type whisper to, you type whisper, name, and then the message. If you type whisper to, it'll whisper, and then it'll look for the first object that meets the to criteria. So that actually we will have to recommend that they change that in the tutorial, because if you use whisper to, it's going to be a problem. So somebody note that, and I'll add feedback once I get into my other account, or I'll feedback from this account. But I'm not going to do that on video. So now they want us to look at our inventory. So you can type inventory, or when I need an inventory, I just type I, and that's your inventory. You can type INV, that's also your inventory. So what this does is it's showing me everything that I have on me, okay? I have some breeches, a tunic, a belt, a sack, some sandals, and then in the sack I have a knife, some rations, a club, dinar, and torches. If I look in the room, there were other objects in this room, right? No. I can look in the footlocker. We'll see if there's anything in it. There isn't. Okay. So we'll do what the game wants us to. I wasn't sure if there was anything in there. So we're going to search. You can type search by itself to just do a general search of the room, or you can search here. If there's an object in the room, like the footlocker, you can search footlocker, and that will search that specific object. So we found a key, and now we're going to get key. Once you have an object in your hand, to drop it on the ground, you can type drop and then the object, or if you want to put it somewhere, you can use the put command, which is like your sack. You could have put key into my sack, it'll put it in your sack, or put key into sack, and that'll put it in the first sack in the room. All of this information in the tutorial that you're getting, don't worry if you're like, oh my gosh, I got to remember this, I got to write it all down. I'm going to drop a link to my new arrival walkthrough in the bottom of this video, and what that'll do, that covers basically the first 30 to 40 days of you playing the game. It gives you a whole list of information of what to do. It teaches you a whole bunch of commands that you have, and don't feel like you have to memorize all this, because in my walkthrough that I have, it's just a Google Doc, so it's nothing fancy. It's not like a bunch of web pages you have to search through. That Google Doc you can just do a Control F for whatever you want, and I have a lot of the commands in there. So I'll drop a link. Don't worry if you're not, if you think you're going to forget this stuff, it's fine. All right, so we took the bronze key. It's telling us we want to do something. We're going to have to hit enter to continue. So now we're going to unlock footlocker. So unlock footlocker with key. And sorry, I'm using a new keyboard. The keystrokes are a little loud. I apologize for that. But now we unlock the footlocker. We have to open it. Basically, MUDs, if you can't tell, are text versions of the video games that you play now. So instead of getting a key in, like, looting a key off a corpse in, like, say, one of the very big modern MMORPGs, you're just typing the words of doing this. If you ever played Zork, it's kind of the same thing. You're just doing this with a bunch of other people. Right now, you're not. You're in the tutorial, but you can do this with... there's other people that are in the game. So we're going to open the footlocker, and then it's going to tell you the get command. So you can get dinar from footlocker. And now we're going to use the put command that we learned earlier. Put dinars in my sack. Another useful thing, just so you know, if you want to grab everything out of a chest, but it won't let you empty it, which is a totally different command, you can use that period as an anything button or anything placeholder. So you could type get space period space from space footlocker, and it'll get the first thing that is in the footlocker. It makes it really easy when you're trying to clear out a container that has a whole bunch of different stuff in it. All right, so get sandals from footlocker. So now we're going to get these sandals from the footlocker. Sorry, I put an extra space in there. And I can't type. And then we're going to wear them. So basically we're taking stuff and putting it on now. You can wear and remove things. Just know that there is an order. If you try to put something, sometimes you can layer items. So you can put leather thigh greaves on, and then you might be able to put breeches on. Oops, sorry. You might be able to put like leather breeches or pants on as well, but the pants have to go on first, and the leather greaves have to go on second. So there's a logic to this game. Sometimes it can be a little tough to figure out. Ask the questions in Out of Character or in the Discord, or just tinker around with it like I did, and you'll figure out kind of what the order is. All right, so we're going to unlock door with key now because we're going to leave. And I think this is going to show us a little bit of combat as well. So we're going to offer key to mate. And then he says, thank you. Offering things to characters here. If somebody offers you something, you can accept the character name. So like if this Matos, sorry, I keep calling him Mathis. If this Matos would offer me something, I would type accept Matos if I want to accept it, or decline Mathos if you want to decline their offer or what they're trying to give you. Let's see here. So this, man, it's almost like I know what's coming. So this is a codex. The codex that they give you is kind of like a newbie codex. It's very good because it has a lot of information in it. Again, most of the information in the codex is also in my walkthrough. It's probably a little bit easier to search the walkthrough than it is to search through a codex in the game. But yeah, you can read through this. I'm just kind of speed running this just so you get an idea of what's going on and you know what to do. So we're going to open the door, and then we're going to go through the door. So go door, and that's going to take us out. Okay. If there's multiple ways to go, you can either use a cardinal direction. So even if you open a door to the north, if you just type north, you'll go through that door to the north. If there's two doors in a room, though, or let's say, especially when you get to the hospice, there's two arches that lead west or east. You can type go arch for the first arch or go to arch to go through the second arch. So if you took healer, you're going to need that when you get to the... You're going to need that when you go to the hospice and try to do some healing. All right, so we're going to knock on the door here for Kylo. Okay, so we're going to open the door, and then we're going to go south. And you can see in the little mini-map, when I opened the door, that room opened on the little mini-map. I know it's hard to see because it's tiny, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now they want us to sit in the chair. I'm going to do that. When I'm done, I stand up. Okay? So we're going to get, so they're showing you about food now. So we're going to get the cheese, and then to eat the cheese, you just type eat cheese. It's pretty simple. Most of the commands in this game are intuitive. If you want to do something, you just type what you want to do. Syntax is what'll kill you. If you're like, I know what I want to do, I just don't know what the specific word is to make it happen, then you might have to ask some questions about getting syntax. But there's two ways to eat things. You can eat it, which is to take a full bite, or you can nibble it, which is to take a little bit of it. Okay? And then I bet next they're going to teach us about sipping and drinking. Yep. Okay. So we're going to get the cup, and we're going to drink the wine. You can also sip the wine. But wine and cheese, of course. Perfect. So we know how to imbibe things. If you look over here on the... You have 3 bars. You have red, which is your health, yellow, which is your fatigue, E, which is your encumbrance, and then S, which is your satiation. If you click on it, it'll tell you you're feeling somewhat peckish. So if we keep eating the cheese, oops, it should rise. You can see it going up there. and then you can just eat it until it's gone. Okay. Eating will fill your satiation bar. Drinking will fill your hydration, but drinking water is what will cover hydration. If you drink wine, it will not make you hydrated, same as if you drink tea or anything else. So water is what you need for hydration. Food is what you need for satiation. And as a newbie in this game, your satiation will drop slowly, okay? So stay a newbie as long as you can because it keeps you from having to do that. Now it wants us to check our wealth. So we're going to check our wealth, and it tells us we have 30 dinars. You can also see what a vendor is selling in the area by typing stock. So if you hit stock, it'll show you what all he is selling there. If you want to learn about the monetary system in Iridian, type help money, and it will come up. Oh, I'm in a menu, so we're just going over everything here. So if you type help money, you'll get a little pop-up menu that'll tell you about it. There's sen, sturs, dinar, and cent. They're the currencies. You'll hear people talk about a talent. A talent is an amount of money. It is not a physical money piece of money, okay? So it's like if somebody said they have $1 million, you understand what that means, but that doesn't mean they have $1 million bill. They might have like, $100,000 bills or $10,000 bills or $1 bills, but a talent is an amount of money. It is not a physical piece of money. All right, so we did that. Now what do they want us to do? Okay, so we're going to leave the room and we go north. Oh no, we got to stand first, and then we're going to go north. Now, watch. I'm going to close the door just so you can see. You see how the square went away because I closed the door. Sometimes where you need to go, the door might be open or closed, but if you open or close it, you'll see in the little mini map that the room actually becomes visible or it goes away. So we need to look for the first mate. We need to go down or go to the ladder. So we'll type go ladder and go down. It wants us to light a candle. So we can light the candle so now people can see. So there is lighting in this game. It takes four torches to completely light an area. For lanterns, I think it takes 2 lanterns to completely light an area. So just know that. But lighting will affect your success in performing actions. The lower the light level, the harder it is to perform certain actions. Okay, so if you want to blow out something, though, you type extinguish, or EXT is what I shorten it to. So we do that for the candle, and it'll actually blow the candle out. What's it want us to do? Okay, so we're going to look at our skills now. I have one-handed crushing and spoken Iridian. Spoken Iridinian. So everybody speaks common. That is just the say. But each country or place has their own dialect. So if you picked Sonaran as your background, you would have spoken Sonaran. You can learn languages in game, but we'll cover that later. For right now, don't worry about it. Just speak common. That's really all you're going to need. So we can use skills with the question mark. This is going to show you, no space, what the commands are for the skills. So I have 2 skills right now. I have basic attack and I have speak Iridian. So if I want to speak Iridinian, wait, it's going to make me hit space to continue. So if I want to speak Iridinian, I can just type speak Iridian, and now anything I say will be in Iridinian. So I speak in Iridinian, hello. If I want to go back to speaking common, I can go back to speak common. If I want to say a specific thing, I can say speak Iridian, hello. And that will not do anything. So yeah, so this speak Iridian text actually doesn't work, so we're going to have to hit them up with that one as well. All right, anyway, so to change language, it's just speak, and then whatever the language is that you know, and then it'll change that to that language, and then you go back. So anyway, what's it want us to do? We need to get our club and wield club, because this is what weapon I chose. So there should be a rat, and we're going to go fight this rat. So we got our torch, and we're going to light the torch. And now let's go north and fight this rat. So to fight things in the game, if you're a melee character, you have to approach something to hit it, which means you have to be engaged with it. If you're a ranged character, you can attack and hit from a distance. You do not have to be engaged with somebody. Because we took one-handed clubs, we're a melee character, so we're going to approach the rat or engage rat. I'm going to use retreat. That's how you get out of it. But you can also type engage, and that will put you... you attempt to engage a large rat, but you're engaged to it. And now we're going to attack the rat. Well, it died in one hit. Hooray! We are really, really strong, apparently. Okay, so every action has a success and a roll. The success is what roll do I need to be higher than in order to accomplish the task. Your roll is what your character rolled. So think of this like a session of D&D. It's just all the dice rolling is done by the game and all the mechanics are handled by the game. So for us, if we rolled a 5, we would have failed that roll because you need to be higher than what the success is. So even a success of 1 means that there's a 1% chance that you fail it, because if you roll a 1, you fail the skill check. All right, so now we got to go back and talk to the first mate. So he wants us to go visit the other 2 passengers. So we're going to go back up, and then let's go visit these other people. I don't know where they are, though. Okay, so here is the Canaraeus. So stats. We're going to look at what our stats actually are. Okay? So this stat menu, STAT, is going to show you everything you need to know about your character. We have your background, your name, your marital status, your citizenship. If you pick Iridian, you're automatically a citizen. You're just a low citizen to start. And then how old you are. And it gives you all your kind of, like, physical characteristics. So stat-wise, yeah, you can see what your stats are here. The combat stats, if you're focused on a combat character, are agility, dexterity, empathy, don't ask me why, but we'll cover that later, endurance, perception, speed, strength, and willpower. Your reasoning, I have noticed that it plays into how many skill points you can earn before hitting min gains, which will come later in the game. Judgment, I'm not sure what that does. Memory, same thing. Your charisma and your appearance, these help with like bartering, so what prices you'll get from vendors and things. But just look at your stats and see what you get. For a brand new first character, I didn't do that bad. They're not, I mean, the stats are not good, but for a brand new right off the bat character, they're not that bad. Let's see here. So practice mode is when you can fight something, but you're not going to really deal any damage. Usually people do this when they're sparring so that they're not dealing damage to each other. They're just kind of seeing like how hard it is to do a certain move. But yeah, so we're going to approach or engage Canarus. If I could spell, it would be easier. Okay, so we're going to approach him, and then let's attack him. Now, you'll see that his attack roll success is 95 now. That means it's very, very hard to hit him. You also see beside your roll, there is a P. What that means is if I would have succeeded, it'll tell you something like withholds damage or something, or holds back their strike or something like that, which is basically telling you like, hey, you passed the success, but you're not actually dealing damage. So there's different stances. They're covered here. You have defensive, wary, normal, aggressive, and berserk, going from most defensive to least to most offensive. Read up on them. There's a great thing on the wiki that'll explain them to you. Again, my walkthrough will explain them as well. So for now, we're just going to try to get through the tutorial. So we have changed from a wary stance to now aggressive stance. If I want to go back to normal, I just hit normal. This is where you're basically right in the middle. You have half of your attack rank bonus given to you and half of your defense rank bonus given to you for all intents and purposes. So normal is where most people fight. If you want to know what stance you're in, you can type condition. Whoops. Or you can type posture. Posture will just tell you what stance you're in. It won't tell you anything else. Condition will give you a whole list of conditions. So it'll give you your stance, whether you're practiced or not, or holding back or not. So you see here, I'm holding my blows. That means I'm in practice mode. I'm unwounded. If you have wounds, they'll be listed here. And then you're well rested, well fed, extremely hydrated, and then load are basically your health, fatigue, endurance, and then your satiation. All right, so we are going to attack Can's head because he told us to attack his head. And we missed, but we almost hit him. So that was pretty cool. So now he's telling us what to do. We're going to retreat because we have to do that to get away from the thing. And then we're going to head over to the next room. There's nothing here. Where did he want me to go? I don't know where this last person is. Okay, so I tried to leave while staying in practice mode, and he hit me on the head. So we're going to be no longer in practice mode, and then we're going to leave. Okay, so we go up. Let's see here. Open door. And here is Siratex. And this, I believe, is the last part of the tutorial. So trust me, we're almost done. I know this has been a long video. I got it. I try to keep my videos to 10 minutes or less, but the tutorial takes a while just because, you know, you have to. So we're going to try the Seitu. Let's ask him about politics. So we're just going to copy and paste. Some of the NPCs in the game you can actually have interactions with. Some of them you can't. You'll try talking to them and they're really not going to tell you anything. Most of them you really can't have interactions with. But a few of them you can. When you come out of the tutorial, they're going to dump you where I think it's a person named Phaedra is. And when you're there, you can ask her questions about the game. And there's a whole like list of things you can talk to her about. I don't really want to know anything more. I just kind of want to leave. But I think I have to ask something else. Let's do kings. Okay, I'm not going to do anything more. So I think I can leave. Let's see here. I don't really want to know anything else. So I'm just going to leave, and I think I can leave the ship now. Okay, so we are going to leave the ship now, and that's going to end our tutorial. I hate that that thing goes off. I even thought I turned the volume down. Or maybe it was my phone. Sorry about that. Alright, so it's telling you here, please remember the Eternal Says is a role-playing game. We expect you to remain in character and respectful of other players. Please restrict any out-of-character comments to whispers and enclose them in brackets exactly the way I'm doing now. So, if you need to talk to somebody in the room with you out of character, so let's say for some reason you're standing there having a conversation with somebody and one of your kids falls over and starts crying. You can whisper to them real quick, like whisper, Captain, kid is hurt, be right back in 5, and they're going to know what that means, and you're going to say that, and then boom, you can go handle your business. Use it sparingly, only when there's no other option to get the information across. Also, you have the out of character channel if you need to say something to the game world as a whole, not necessarily just the person close to you. So if you have something to tell a character close to you in the same room, tell them directly. Don't use out of character to say, hey, I'm going to go away I'm going to go AFK for 10 minutes. Especially because there are people in this game who, if they know your character is away, if you are away from your character and they're standing there, they're going to come rob you or beat the shit out of you. So you don't want people to know that you're not paying attention to something. There's not many that will do that, but there are some that will. So, be careful. Once your character's in the game, they're there. There are rules and laws and everything else, so get spun up on that. Clearly assault is not something you want to do, but people do get assaulted in the game because it's part of the role play, or there's criminal factions that work against each other. There's constables that are trying to arrest the criminals, so they come to blows sometimes. There's soldiers in this game. But PC against PC violence is pretty rare unless it's warranted by the role play that you've already established with that person, that group, or whatever. So I'm not saying like as soon as you announce that you're going AFK for 5 minutes, everyone in the game is going to swarm and like beat the hell out of you. Honestly, people are probably going to leave you alone. But I mean, there are instances where people will try to steal from you at that point. So, or attack you. I doubt they'll attack you though. But yeah, so be careful. Make sure that you're only using out of character when absolutely necessary to the people close to you, not to the game world as a whole. And that's pretty much it. Think is like everyone in the game can see it if they have their think turned on, but it's in character. So think would be like, most people will greet the world when they wake up. They'll say like, hello, Republic, or greetings, Iridine, or whatever. It's kind of a way of letting people know like, hey, I'm awake and I'm around. So this is all covered in your codex as well. Remember, you have this codex. So we're going to go plank, and that's going to put us into Iridine. Phaedra, that's right. So we are now standing at the Stone Toga Inn. Behind it, where Phaedra is kind of like the NPC helper for brand new characters. So we've made it through account creation, through character generation, through the welcome area, and now the tutorial. Now you're in Midlight in the Eternal City. So stay tuned. Our next video, we're going to show you how to install the tech extension, which is going to be a lot of computer stuff, but it's really easy, I promise, and it'll be super, super helpful. So stay tuned, and we will see you soon. And for now, enjoy your character in the game. Bye-bye.